don't.
You! The EM rifle, grab it! Now!
Stop! We're trying to help you! I will not be stopped! Any further.
Ow!
That's it! Now hit him with everything you've got! Lights out on... Why?
Go.
Thank you.
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before.
I don't know. We'd tried to restrain them, but some of the other officers down there...
Pheromonic projection. Some terramorphs, it affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control. Turn against You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire. And keep that EM weapon at the ready. Let's do it.
That's unlocked. Please.
tell us anymore.
Wait, officer? Are you and this woman experts? Take whatever we can get right now. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad. We're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here. But we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than ass.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us. Roger that. We're on you. Who wants to take us on? Bring it.
since you're back in one piece. Though I guess our people weren't so lucky.
The few protecting the many.
And it would have been plenty more if it hadn't been for the two of you. The city owes you both a debt after this.
We were just in the right place at the right time. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes. That is...
Whole building's on lockdown.
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Losing anyone in the line of duty
there
is
you are.
tragedy.
I believe
These attacks,
we have some things
they can't
we should
happen
discuss.
again.
The loss of life, the damage to the spaceport. The costs of this attack are greater than I think we realize.
Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today, as well as an apology. Your concerns about the terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative. The very next item on my list. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us? It has its perks. Only citizens can purchase property in the city. We also pay reduced prices on most goods and services across the UC. There's also a credit disbursement when you first join. Help get you on your feet. But above all, you'd become a dedicated part of the greatest faction in the galaxy. I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
Heroes the Middle East at spaceport.
They're not
That
killing me.
includes you.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that payload.
There are so many different groups across the settled systems, it's hard to keep up with all the work they're doing.
These creatures can hit us in New Atlantis.
Chief Yassine, these orders. A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief we're going to do everything in our power to make sure you... And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
I couldn't agree more. However, both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do need cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun?
The good Ambassador Radcliffe.
She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable. Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experience as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend support.
Who knows? Maybe that'll work. Strange things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure. We just need to be fine squeeze.
UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy's holding cell.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen.
Now, we recovered some intel. I believe you should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give him a heads up. You're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Captain. Ambassador Balmore's. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stated he's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, but claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a second. Of course, but there is. We're not 100% sure Balmore's actually still alive. His public appearances were always rare, but scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice. I have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff.
Be smart out there, Captain.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Hume was looking for you. Sounds like I've got one.
You are a visitor? You'll find the ambassador in her office. Go on through.
Visitors are allowed in the lobby, offices, or conference room. That means you. All that security, and they still can't protect their own space. You see, it never fails. It's disappointing. I just wish I had received the news from an SSN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here? Guests can make themselves comfortable in the lobby. I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment? You're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saving many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe just a bad connection. that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, a local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right. Excuse me. A less level-headed person might think that was a threat, Captain. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours? Go. No, Captain, I'm not, and I'll tell you why. What you experienced down there at the spaceport, I've lived that once before already. Fought tooth and nail as aliens rampaged in the streets of my home and others all throughout the collective. But my aliens were placed there by UC hands. So I'm not interested in anyone getting power like that ever again. The UC most of all. You have my answer. Now, please take the hint. You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance. One to convince me. Understood. I'm listening. In the end, we all just want to be safe in our little fiefdoms, don't we? I'm sorry, but you're not going to flatter me into... Captain, I'm sorry, but my answer is not changing.
Sorry. Oh, what? You know, I was... And like a...
Visitors are only allowed. All that security still can't protect their own spaceport. You see, never fails to disappoint. I just wish I had received the news from an SSNM broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain.
Of course, man. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here? I'm sorry. You're the one. You have my thanks. Now, she ought that now that you... I can only presume you're here. Excuse me. Let me be frank. I will not be. No, Captain, I'm not. I fought tooth, so I'm not interested. You're really gonna push? I'm listening. A fair point. That's all the UC. I don't care if you're the captain. I'm sorry. All that security, and they still can't protect their own spaceport. UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I had to see the news from its SSN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, man. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here? It was a real mess, don't it? I'm sorry. You're the one. You have my thanks. Now, she also meant that now that UC wants, I can only presume. Excuse me. Let me be frank. I will not be. No, Captain. I fought tooth and my aliens, so I'm not interested in. You're really gonna push this? I'm listening. Preventing more deaths is. In the end, we all. I suppose you're right. Our job and our responsibility. There's a lot of scared people out there right now, and I could do something about it. Well, Captain, you make some good points. But if I'm really granting you access, I'm going to need the following concessions. Your access will be limited. You can only take out the items related to stopping these terramorphs. The monitors will make sure of it. You go in once. You get everything you need on your trip, and never again. And all research done with the data will be monitored. If this data is being used to save the galaxy needs to be involved in the oversight. Freestar scientists will watch your people like hawks. So, do we have an agreement? Excellent. Follow me. Tell me it should only take a moment. And there. Here, I'll reach out to Deputy McIntyre. We'll coordinate the necessary oversights. To unlikely allies, I guess. People often mistake rivals for enemies. We don't have to like each other to do the right thing.
gently. It's like...
So, what seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks, and my apologies for the ordeal you just endured. Come, let us discuss. Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely functioning intercoms. I do greatly appreciate your persistence. I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, who could cage such a beauty? Tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning an attack, then the embassy was... Has the rest of the city suffered? Is that right, huh? Now, it cannot solely be... You were sent by the UC. That much? And the broadcast spoke of terror. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but... So the UC requires information. The preservation of life stands as the very purpose of the archives. Using its data to prevent more attacks. But if I am to grant you access, I have a requirement. For years, House Varun has been known only as an agent of slaughter. We founded this embassy with little success. In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the one who ensures it is used for good. Ensure House Varun's legacy is more than... The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is we who bend... Well then, I shall not fear. Please, follow me. Let's hope it still works. And there. Let it be used for good.
got them,
I'm told by top officials the cabinet already has a plan in place to open an Armistice
Pardon?
Captain, you're back soon. Oh, wait. Did you actually succeed? So the old man was still lurking around in there. Fine work, Captain. And now, I've already arranged everything with the archival monitors. When you get down there, the UC monitor will give you instructions on how to deploy the codes. Follow them to the letter. Here, the UC code piece and an archival access card. The entrance is just on the other side of the plaza across from Mast. Absolute best behavior down there, all right?
Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard.
We've been expecting you. Please approach the monitoring station and we will go over the rules. Welcome, Captain, to the Archives. To proceed, you will need to deposit your codes into the 3 corresponding receptacles. Once they are verified, I will open the door. Your data resides in Unit 18. You will not be able to access any of the other units. Once you've collected your data, return to the entrance. You may insert the first of the archival codes when you're ready to begin.